Wait, Quinn, you're muted. That was probably really good, but you're muted.
It was really good, but I'm going to make it even better. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Go Manager Call. Happy Monday. Happy holidays. I'm so excited everybody's here. We have quite the call lined up for you, but I just want to express a little bit of gratitude from my heart this evening. And it's gratitude towards all of you. It's gratitude towards our industry, and it's gratitude towards our company specifically. Marie and Sienna and Kinley and I were all up here in Breckenridge, Colorado. Sienna's officially on winter break, so we're capitalizing on that and working from up here. But it was so funny as we were snowboarding today. I remembered, Lauren, it was crazy. I had a crazy flashback. Like, we were walking through this restaurant that's up here, and I had this flashback of 4 years ago being up here, and I remember being in that restaurant. And I remember it being a Sunday, and it was a horrible snowstorm. And I remember this gut-wrenching feeling that I had to drive home that night, because guess what? I had to be at work the next morning. And it was horrible. I had to put my family through this blizzard in my car and like risk everybody's safety. But yet today I was so grateful because here we were, and I was like, I don't have to drive back home tonight. I don't have to worry about it. We can spend as much time as we want to up here, and we can truly enjoy everybody during the holidays, and we can still work from here too. So I want you guys to know that like anything is possible with this company, and spend time on gratitude right now and keep pushing forward. 2018 can be a great year for you, and that's what we're going to dive into tonight, is just to share with you a little bit of the context. Lauren's going to share on how to build through the next 2 weeks through Christmas and carry that momentum into New Year's so you can have the 2018 that you want. And I'm going to dive into a little bit of Eric Worre training that we took away from the Influencer Summit, but also what we're doing as leaders to capitalize on January and give you guys a sneak peek into that system and what that takes. But before we do that, I want to jump into some recognition. So real quick here, as we go into recognition, tonight, all of our top enrollers that we announce are going to get a box of e-shots from us, but only if you're on the call or only if you message us by tomorrow night. So if you're watching the recording, you have to shoot us a message by tomorrow night. So our top enrollers, I want to give a shout out to Mr. Chris Jackson for coming in as a top enroller here last week in the Go Manager campaign. And also Mr. Jared Jake Bieber, both those guys coming in with 3 enrollments last week. And Michelle Baina, too, coming in with being the number 1 enroller in the Go Manager campaign for Lauren's team. But real quick, I also want to give a shout out to somebody here on our team. I want to give a shout out to Jeremy and Rachel Van Shapen, because you guys scheduled the most enrollment calls with me over the past week. And so great work to you guys. And Jeremy, just real quick, I want to have you share real quick, because Jeremy said something powerful to me this morning, because we did an enrollment call this morning, and he actually brought on another business partner for him and Rachel. And Jeremy, could you mind sharing the breakthrough that you had about listening and what that's done? I mean, you guys are enrolling people every week. You're not enrolling 30 days. You're enrolling Pacesetter packs and value packs, and you're sharing people the vision of Isagenix. So what is it that you identified you shared with me this morning? I was hoping you could share that with everybody.
Well, for me, I have the benefit of being in the Army, so literally everybody around me, everyone I work with, has to maintain a certain weight standard, and they have to maintain a certain physical level of performance. So for me, I wasn't really too interested in the business for a long time until it kind of fell on my lap, because I didn't hide from anybody that I was involved in Isagenix. But then people started getting interested. They started asking questions. And then I realized that I really only just had to open my ears and hear what people were telling me, because it's always what people talk about, what they did for PT that morning, what they're doing at the gym, what supplements they're taking. So I just opened my ears, heard what they wanted, and then I told them what my success has been, how much weight I've lost. And that's really all it really took for me. And, oh, you're trying to lose weight? Man, I lost 5 pounds the last 2 weeks. And they're like, oh, how'd you do that? And pretty much all I did was open my ears and listen to people, because they have a lot to say if you're really paying attention.
Thank you for that. That's a big takeaway that everybody can apply to their business, is just don't worry about what to say, but truly listen. And then Jake, I wanted to get a shout out from you here real quick too, because there's a lot of people in the company right now on the team. They're using the excuse of it's the holidays and I can't enroll people. You enrolled 3 people last week. What'd you do real quick? How'd you approach them? But what did it go? So everybody can take some notes. Everybody wants to know the how-tos. How do you enroll 3 people, during the holidays?
The first out of the 3 people, one of them was my transformation post that Lauren asked us to do.
Nice.
So I did that. I got 2, I don't know, maybe out of 10 people interested, or 10 comments, 2 people DM'd me. And then 1 person actually responded, and it was a friend of mine from Chicago. Just wanted to know what I was doing. He had been watching me on Facebook forever. Just timing was right, and got him hooked up with Chris on a 3-way, and we got him in a value pack. And we welcomed him about an hour ago, Chris. So he's ready to rock and roll. The second one was, again, another person. One of my clients on Facebook had just been watching me, and I had to talk to her about an event I was doing, and she purposely asked me about what I was doing, and we set up a breakfast. I brought her to the lookbook, and we got her hooked up on a 30-day. And Melissa and I are doing a welcome call with her as soon as this call's over. And then the third one was just someone in my social circle that's just been hanging around. And, just, again, I think holidays are tough. I think this holiday sometimes makes it easier with the new year and the resolutions.
Yep.
And Chris just asked him about his goals. I mean, it was really simple, actually.
Thank you for that, Jake. I appreciate that. And one thing everybody take notes on, if you heard something from Jake there, is he's using the tools. Number 1, he's using Lauren's posts and following the instructions of like, hey, here's somebody that's crushing the business. Why try and change it? Just do like, hey, Lauren said, post this, post it, right? It worked. So it turns out that stuff works. And then also using the lookbooks. I love that. So great work, way to follow the business and utilize and perform the action items of the Go Manager campaign. So what I want to do now is I want to transition over to Lauren. And if you have any success stories you guys want to share here too, you're more than welcome to, but I wanted to have you go through what does it look like building through Christmas, building through the new year, and I'm going to let you take it away.
Thanks. And those are great, great, great stories. No, I love the recognition that you did. And honestly, just because I want to get into the heart of the call and respect everybody's busy schedule the week before Christmas, get into the training. But that's great. And thank you guys for sharing those tips. There's a podcast that in the beginning of this training, and I posted the link to in the page, that Jessica Rigner and I did a couple of years ago. Kirsty Cody interviewed us on how to build through the holidays. And if you haven't listened to it, I would highly encourage you to go back, because everything we did that first year when Jess and I were top enrollers, and both of us had enrolled over 40 people in the month of December, I will still continue to do, and I teach people what to do. And typically December has always been my highest enrollment month, actually more than January. And there's a couple of reasons that you can do that. But the main thing I want you guys to focus on right now is that if anybody's starting on the 1st, if anybody's wanting to start January 1, they need to be ordering like yesterday, because with Christmas shipping, holiday shipping, and the American instant need for gratification, like I want it right now, that right now they're stressed out about Christmas presents, and they're stressed out about their credit card. They're worried about the gazillion Christmas parties they have to go to. But literally come January 1, which is on a Monday this year, people are going to be so uncomfortable, so puffy, so exhausted, so hungover, so ready. And if they don't have their brown box to start that day or on the 2nd, they're walking into Slimgenics or GNC or 24-Hour Fitness or something that they can get it right then. That I don't want you guys to feel like you're being salespeople. I want you to feel like you're being proactive and guiding people through the buying process and really, truly having their best interest at heart. And literally, it's just an honest conversation. All of your transformation posts, every before and after picture, should be talking about, if you're ready to get started, you need to order by, in all bold, all capital, something that they're realizing and saying, because of shipping time, because I don't have inventory on stock. If you're doing, Instagram stories or Facebook Live or anything, telling people you don't just have 30-day kits sitting around, ready to give to people, and educating them about that. I will tell you, and I know not all of you are in a position financially to do this, but if you are, I personally would have a couple 30 days right now and a couple President's Packs on deck, because for someone that is ready, that you literally can like give them a 30 days and then ship their new one back to you and kind of restock. So a lot of you might not be in a position to do that. But if you are, you know, picking out the most popular flavors or something and be like, you know what, I've got a 30 day at my house right now, I can bring it over to you. And then that next, when you actually put in their order, it's just going to ship to you and you kind of replenish your inventory to try and prevent that. But I would every single day, no matter what conversations you normally have with Isagenix, take it 5 to 10 times as much. If right now you feel like you have 0 to 1 conversation, start to have 1 to 2. If you're someone who's having 3 to 4 conversations a day, start to have 10 or 12, because you really want to be the person that people think about when they're ready, right? They might not text you back right now. They might not call you back right now. They might be like, oh my gosh, okay, I get it, whatever. I'm trying to check out at, you know, Toys R Us right now, or I'm at Target. Like, the last thing I want to deal with is this 30 day. But when they're finally ready, you want to be the one that go, yeah, okay, what do I need to do? I'm ready to come for you. Be really, 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 truly branding new year, new you goals using all of our solutions. If you find yourself that every single time you do a before and after picture, it's always someone who looks like you, or it's only your own transformation, or it feels like it's always a younger girl or a younger guy or an older girl. No, if you, I mean, I'm not saying anyone's doing this, but typically when I look at people, how they post people that look like you, because that's who you relate to. But we have solutions for everybody. I mean, I would be putting pictures up right now of kids using the products, of seniors that are healthy aging, of people that have weight loss, of athletes that have put on size, and start to ask questions. Are you looking for? And get them to start to think about that. Like, if you put up Aaron Harrison's pictures and you're like, who's ready to make 2018 your fittest year yet? Who's looking for the 40-year-old dad bod that also comes with a side of 6-pack of abs, right? If this is you, I'm ready, you know, and you're going to attract in a totally different group of people than if you've got someone who is trying to lose weight, you know, and it's like maybe they had a kid a year and a half ago, but they're calling it baby weight. You literally put that pregnancy transformation or nursing transformation up and saying, struggling with baby weight from the end of 2016, let's make 2018 your year. Like, if that's, you know, let's get rid of it forever. Be doing Facebook Lives, you guys. I know that Quinn put in the comment section of our page that one of the things that he and Marie had done was at 2,000 views. I am going to go on the hunch here that the majority of you are not maxed out on friends. But even if you are, right, let's say you have 5,000 friends on Facebook, 4% on average is seeing it. 4%. 4% of 5,000 is really small. Now, if you look at your newsfeed or your friends and you've got 500 friends or 1,000 friends, and you're going to say 4% is seeing this, that's not very much. And so for a lot of you that are still posting and praying just a picture, or, you know, trying to like tell your story through text and going, hey, like, what's happening? How come no one's reaching out to me like they used to? It's because your reach has not extended as far as it used to. Where Facebook Live, the majority of your friends are going to see that notification. And then the more people that watch it, the more people that share it, the more it stays up in the high part of the news feed. That I want you to really encourage getting out of your comfort zone. And if you think about what Quinn said at the beginning of this call, that he remembers just a few years ago them rushing back in a blizzard because he had to be to work, and the lifestyle that he and Marie are living. You guys, that's not to press upon you. It's to get you excited about what's available. But that's consistent action, and that's consistently they've gotten out of their comfort zone. They've done the scary things. And so when we were asking who's done, you know, all 14 of the posts tonight, not being expected because a lot of you were waiting to do it tonight, it's not to like shame on you, right? That's why I was like, no judgment. And I love it that people still want to explain to me why they haven't done it. It was really to give a prize away. Like, if anyone had done it, because I couldn't go through and like count everything, I was like, oh, I just hope someone has, because it'll be really easy who can like get this prize. And I'm like ready to give an NYKO ticket, a NYKO ticket away again. They're totally sold out, right? But I'm like, nobody has done it. And don't feel bad about that. But the main one that nobody did was the live. Like, when I did actually start to look at it a little bit ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, they've done the live. The live got everybody. And I will tell you, there is another opportunity this week to do the Facebook Live, to start to ask yourself questions like, what's more hard? Doing a Facebook Live or working my current 9-to-5? You know, what's more hard? Not having the money to say yes to the things you want to be doing, or doing a Facebook Live. And I want you guys to just kind of keep that in the forefront of your mind, And when you're doing it, here's the biggest tips I can give you. If you want to get all the ins and outs and the time and the angle of the camera and what lights to be doing, message Zach and Eden Slobin, because I'm pretty sure they have that mastered. But this is what I can tell you, is come from your heart. People are really, really, really drawn to inspiration over information. Have some idea of what you're going to talk about, that you're not just blabbling. Like, this is your broadcast. And if 5,000 people are going to hear your story, you don't want to look like a hot mess walking and moving around and, just super, super scatterbrained, and just have value. Like, I always try to say before I post something or before I do a live or something, like, would I watch this? Would this impact me? And granted, you're not going to please the whole world. Remember that 20% of people are going to love you, 20% are going to hate you, and 60% it depends on what time of the month and what day of the week you get them on and how they feel about you, right? And so not everybody loves Les Brown. I love him. I'm obsessed with him. Not everybody loves Tony Robbins. Some people are obsessed with him. Some people love him. Not everybody loves Joel Osteen. Some people love him. Some people are obsessed with him. It's up to you to get what you're really passionate about, but add value. And so sometimes I feel like the only way you all think that you can do a Facebook Live is to tell your story. Like, I love actually watching Renee Schreibman or Jessica Rigner, and they'll make things like protein balls, and they're using the IsoPro, and they're just, going through this recipe. The kids are trying it. It's really fun. It's interactive with the kids. And then they're like, this is the protein I use. And a lot of people watch it and inevitably will reach out, but they didn't get on there to sell IsoPro, right? They got on there to show like a fun activity and share a recipe. One of the girls that has a nutrition background in my team did this whole thing on like alkalizing versus acidity for dummies. Like, I helped her write it, like, it was actually really cute. A lot of people don't care about that. The right person cares about it, starts to trust her, she builds credibility, and then sees all of her other posts as a result, or will reach out. And so I want you guys, as you're going into this time of year and people are overwhelmed and people are stressed out, know that on January 1st, that stress is going to be there. And that overwhelm on a whole new level the overwhelm is going to be there, just with a different focus. But the majority of people's New Year's resolutions, and Melanie, I saw you say like what type of posts. I'm trying to go back to that. Most people's New Year's resolutions come into one, if not all three categories: health, wealth, and relationships. So when you think about what Isagenix does, like, if any of you have better relationships with your spouses, you have new friends, you've traveled, you've become a better person, something about that brown box has impacted you, that your relationships in general are healthier, you have a story to tell. If any bit of your bank account has improved, that doesn't mean you're an Isagenix millionaire yet. That doesn't mean you're a 5-star. If any bit of your bank account, any bit of it, right? You've paid off some debt, you have more date money, you are getting your products paid for, you have a story on how you can help people with their New Year's resolutions. And if any bit of your health has changed, you're faster, you're leaner, you're stronger, whatever that may be, right? You have a story to tell. And so when you're coming from your post saying, a person that has a New Year's resolution for XYZ, how can I market this post to serve them, right? These aren't posts about you. They're messages that connect with those pain points for those individuals. If someone has a New Year's resolution to improve their finances, how can you market your post that you're sharing how you paid off debt, how you're sharing that you've been able to shop more, how you're sharing how you've been able to travel more? And so I want you guys to think about that. And the last tip I'm going to give you, without overwhelming everything, because I know we've covered some things about holiday gifts and goodie bags and samples of that sort, it's actually two. Number one, if you've not enrolled or talked to your neighbors, start there. A lot of times we're all on Facebook, or we've done extended friends and family. Like, if your cul-de-sac, if your, hallway in your apartments, like whatever it is, if you've actually not knocked on their door and said, hey, I live 2 doors down from you, I'm not sure if you know what I do, start within your circle right now, because they already know and like and trust you because you live next door, unless you're a crazy neighbor. Hopefully none of you are, right? But the last tip that I would give you is, every one of you, unless you got started yesterday, probably has an inactive list. Print off your entire inactive list. And anybody who is building below you that may have stopped, print off their inactive list and start reaching out to them. You can do this in text. I don't recommend it. I think it's a great time for people to hear your voice and be passionate, but you can leave a ton of voice memos with Slide Dial, where it'll automatically send you to voice memo. Or I'm a huge fan of doing the Facebook voice memos, because it will cut you off at 60 seconds, so it won't let you ramble on. Doing a quick text through iMessage, or for those of you that love Marco Polo, do a quick Marco Polo. Let them see your face. Let them see your passion. but reaching out, and being like, hey, Marla, I just wanted to touch base with you. I know that you crushed your New Year's goals with us in 2015, and we're getting ready to launch our New Year, New You of 2018. The company's released so many new products. I swear every year we get better and better, and I thought about you. If you're looking to get started again, or maybe you're at a point after the holidays that you want that reset, you want the jump start like the rest of us, reach out to me. I'd love to help you in any way that I can, right? For those of you that have been doing virtual parties and got the free enrollment codes from corporate, all of those codes expire on 12/31. Like say, hey, Melissa, I know in 2016 you hopped on with our spring break cleanse. I've been thinking about you because we're launching an amazing New Year, New You transformation. And for anybody who orders their system by midnight of 2017, right? If you get it in before the new year, I was like, I can waive your membership fee for you. I'm all about a savings, especially this time of year. I just wanted you to know that you're one of the first people I thought about in terms of helping you reach your physical and financial goals of 2018. Send the voice memos, send the text. But if you're just posting as much as we want to reach out to new people, work with what you already have. Right? And then maybe there's someone in your team that was a 1-star, 2-star, and they had enrolled 100 people and they're out. They've checked out. Maybe there's someone who went to another company, right? Or maybe it just wasn't for them. Well, what happened to all of those people, right? Start to dig deep, start to comb your tree. I mean, I literally have seen people double rank advance in January, not only because of new enrollments, but because of reactivations of current enrollments. So start to get really clear on where do you want to be cycling? What do you want your recognition table label to say at NYKO? Who else are you rank advancing? Who else are you committed to changing their lanyard by NYKO? And get to work. And I will tell you guys, you've heard it over and over and over. It is way better to work with 2 or 3 that are running with you than drag 50. Find those people right now that want to enroll 20 people in 30 days in January, which Quinn is going to talk about. Find those people that are breaking through in 2018, that come, hell or high water. They're in it. They're all in it. They're making the sacrifices. They don't come with excuses. They come with execution. And grab those people, and you guys will just propel into 2018. So I'm going to turn it over to Quinn because that's where we really get excited about the first month of the new year.
Heck yeah. I love it. And all those ideas, Lauren, are things that, Marie and I have been applying for a few years in a row, and all of those work. I would strongly recommend, I hope you guys took notes. If not, go back and watch the recording and write down those action items. But the biggest part here yet is as we go into 2018, Lauren, you mentioned something about enrolling 20 people in 30 days. And before I jump into that, I'd love to see everybody go in here and put in the comments. Don't just do it to be cool, but really put in the comments, what's your goal with Isagenix for 2018? And be real with it. So if your goal is to make $1,000 a month, that's $500 a month, or $1,000 a week, or $5K a week. I want you guys to put that in the comments there. And I want to see what some of those look like, because based upon what your goals are, well, the system that I'm about to give you guys is really going to blow it up. And in order for this system to be effective, the main thing is Lauren, it's all intentional. The program that we're going to run, that Eric Worre gives us for January, not only is it the best time of year to do it based upon New Year's resolutions, but also the work that we've been giving you guys through the Go Manager campaign will only allow you to be more successful. So those of you guys that have been doing the daily action items, this will be much, much easier for you versus the people that haven't. So I want to see some of the comments in here before we go. Ronnie, 3-star, 6 figures. Nice. Director to executive. Help as many people as possible. Money's a great perk. Create 2 executives. I like it. Hit 4-star. There we go. 3K a week. Jamie, start 1,000, 3-star by April 5th. Leave your job. So 6-figure income. Perfect. So those of you guys that are throwing this in here, 1K a week from Jeremy. Perfect. So the system that I'm going to give you guys, all of you guys that commented, this is going to really, really help you if you apply it. So Eric Worre has a program called 20 and 30. To show of hands, who's familiar with 20 and 30? A few people on here. So what I want you to do is write down. I want you guys to understand how this works. And if you go through the 20 and 30, just based upon what Isagenix offers you in upfront bonuses, you're looking at a minimum of $1,000 just in PIBs, a minimum. So January, you already have $1,000 worth of bonuses just in PIBs. That doesn't include 5-cycle bonuses. If you for growing your business. That doesn't include the 1-star bonus, 2-star bonus, director, executive, any cycles along the way, right? It doesn't include any of that. But if you look at some of the people that might do it really strong with Pacesetter packs, or they might be doing it with value packs, now you're bumping up with PIBs around $3,000 just in PIBs for the month of January. But what more importantly, besides the short-term money, don't get lost in that, because that won't sustain you as being focused on that. That's just a side perk. Focus on what it'll do long-term for your business. What would enrolling 20 people in 30 days, what would that do for your 12-month earnings from January to January? Lauren, quick question for you. What was the biggest month in Isagenix history of as many enrollments as you've had? Like, because I know you can enroll a lot of people. It's probably 30, I bet.
What's my biggest paycheck month, or what's the company's biggest month?
Not your biggest paycheck.
Oh, I was like, wait, what?
No,
I don't know what you're asking me.
What's your biggest sponsor month? Like, how many people have you sponsored in 30-day time frame in Isagenix history? It doesn't have to be like just rough estimate.
41, December of 2014.
Okay, how much longer after that did you go 3-star?
Oh, no, and I'm sorry, December 2013, and that would have been in May.
So from December to January, February, March, April, May, 5 months after a 6-figure income. That's not a coincidence by any means. Not a coincidence. I look at mine, Marie and I went through ours. We went through ours. And in May of 2014, Marie and I enrolled 17 people. That's not our biggest month. But after we enrolled 17 people, we went 3-star in July, 4-star in August, same year. And then looking at this year, I'll just tell you this, Chris and I were going through this. I got an echo coming from somebody. Chris and I were going through this. June was my biggest enrolling month. It was 25 this year in June for June Boom. But July was my biggest income history in all of my Isagenix history, like biggest month ever of this past year. So it's not a coincidence. So think about what enrolling the max amount of people, Eric Worre says 20 is the key, and what that'll do long-term for your business. And what will it do lifetime for your business? So Lauren, another question for you going back, and I want everybody to identify this. Your biggest month propelled you to going 3-star, but how much of your business percentage now would you say comes from that original push? Like, is it 80% of your business, of your residual income comes from that, 90%, 60%, 50%? How much of your original income comes from that original push? Just guess.
Just for the record, now you can tell that we don't script these calls, because I'm like, I don't know the data. I'm gonna honestly say less than 10%.
10% from your original push.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I'm just trying to think of who I was enrolled in, or like any of my executives from that. None of them are paid as executive anymore. Like, I mean, some are consultants, but like my sister who's on here is maybe the only one. Like,
so it's 10% from just those original enrollments, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's still pretty big. I mean, considering the size of your paycheck, that's still great.
I guess I don't 100% know where you're going, but I just think like where we're always adding people to the tree, you're always enrolling, always ranking advancing other people. That wouldn't be the only time I've done it, like gone in these surges. And Isagenix does it too with the Welcome Home Challenge or the June Boom. And they're doing these things because they know you have to surge and surge and surge. And so, I mean, to realistically think that my business today has to do with what happened in 2013, it's a crazy small fraction. But we've done that surge multiple times. And anytime that we've done it as a team, because we're qualifying for top achievers or things of that sort, that's when like it goes. And I think that today there's more because there's more leaders, there's more duplication than when I was doing it by myself in the very beginning.
Yep. So, but when you do a surge, like I would say for my business, when we do surges and we do campaigns, I'd say that 80% of my income comes from surges and it trickles down. Like it's always surge to surge to surge to surge, right?
Correct.
So looking at like what will do for your lifetime earnings is what I'm saying. So realize the big picture of this. And then also too, will you rank advance? So chances are if you enroll, I mean, you heard Lauren and I's stories of enrolling that many people in a short period of time, what that launched us into rank advancement wise. And we're not just talking manager, director, executive. We're talking golden stars, right? So it's an income that you could potentially live off of or a great side income. And then the next piece is I want you guys to understand this one. And this is one that if you understand this, and Lauren, I know you understand this really, really well because you always say it, is speed of the leader, speed of the pack, right? And leaders go first. So by you enrolling 20 people in a 30-day increment, what kind of example is that giving to your team? What kind of standard are you setting? You're going to rank advance, and it's going to edify you. It's going to set up a huge reputation for you that's going to edify you as a leader amongst your other team, amongst the company. And it's going to show when you onboard new people, they're going to say, well, Lauren, what did you do? Well, here's what I did. And it shows what's possible. Versus think about in January, let's say you enroll 5 people or you enroll 10. Maybe you collect a 5-cycle bonus or something. And then you go present Isagenix to somebody and they say, well, what did you do? And you say, well, here's what I did. They're going to go, yeah, that's pretty cool. Right? So it's a big, big difference in that. And anybody can do this. So you can have the bragging rights and show your new team members or your new enrollments, hey, look what I did. So looking at this, if you guys understand the numbers, Jake, I know you'll geek out on this. If you enroll 20 people in 30 days, 12 of those people are going to do something. They're going to recruit somebody. They're going to bring in product users. They're going to post a Facebook Live. They're going to host an opportunity meeting. They're going to do something. Okay? 8 of those people in 90 days will continue as potential leaders, and keyword potential. 4 within a year will be producing 90% of your income. 5 within 2 years will be producing 90% of your downline volume, is what Eric Worre says. Now, this is if you were to recruit 20 business partners. He's not saying product users in here. So enrolling people on a 9-day cleanse, it doesn't count. This is 20 people that actually want to build a business with you. So I want you guys to understand, if you're going to go into this, Lauren and I have been prepping you, but I want to give you a couple of the key things that you can be doing between now and Christmas so that way you can hit the ground running. Number 1 is know your story. We put that video in there of Eric Worre of know your story so you can be presenting it 24/7. I got off the phone with some network marketers the other day that are high up in Isagenix, and they said, you know what? Lenny Evans, you guys heard him on a team call. The number 1 thing that he's going back to that he realized that works so well that he forgot about from the Eric Worre Influencer Summit was sharing his story. That was it. So know your story inside and out and use the Eric Worre version. And then go into what's your 30-day window. January is the best. What's your level of commitment? Clear your calendar. Get rid of distractions. Be ready to sacrifice. Let your family know, hey, I'm going to be doing something that's going to change our family's legacy and our lineage for decades to come. Decades to come. So will you stand by me? For those of you guys that have families and kids, something that Marie and I do when we do campaigns like this is we involve our girls. We tell Sienna, we've done it before in the past, hey, we're going to do a 30-day sprint. We accomplish our goals. We're going to take you to Disneyland. We've done it twice. Okay? Every year we've accomplished it. So let your kids know. Let your existing team know, hey, I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be focusing on this. I need you to let me run with this. Come up with a fresh list. When Marie and I did our biggest enrolling month in the month of June, we had a list of about 500 people, and it was on point for 20 plus enrollments. Eric Worre says 500 people, that's what's key. So I want to show you guys a little difference for those of you guys that are thinking, yeah, what's the big difference of enrolling 20 in 30 days or if I enroll 20, over the course of a few months?
Can I ask a quick question, Quinn?
Yes.
Did you just say you had a fresh list of 500 contacts that you guys were focused on for that 30-day sprint?
Yep.
Okay, I want to make sure I understood that. Thank you.
500. And here's how I build lists, just so you guys know. Don't just print off your Facebook. That doesn't count. Okay. For me, the way I consider a list is it's people that I have engaged and I'm talking to about Isagenix. And I have a contact info. So the way I like to run my business is I'll run like, hey, if I message, 200 people in a week, at the end of that week, I want to be able to have 20 to 25 appointments with a name and a phone number. That's a real lead and a real list. That's the way I like to use my list.
Can I chime in for 1 second?
Yeah, please.
And hey, just so you guys know, Quinn texted me all those numbers on the call when we were talking about what we were going to talk about. We'll put it in the comments of this recorded link or make it a file on the page so you can have it. I think when you break down the detail like this, it just helps to visually be able to follow it. I'm looking at it. That's what I'm like, so see where we are, but just know we'll give this to you. A lot of you haven't, attended Eric Worre or whatever. I mean, you can watch this free webinar, but we'll give you this information that he's reviewing. He's talking you through it and breaking it down, but we'll make it a file or something. And I agree with Quinn that like your list is people that you are, you have been in contact with, that you met at a restaurant or a Lyft driver, or you've talked to, or your friends or your family. But I also think that we all have people in our network that we don't know yet. And this is no greater time than to start reaching out to them. So one of the things I actually learned from Quinn and Marie, I think 2 years ago, was anytime somebody likes a Facebook post, like add them to that list.
Yep.
That's something that you may not have ever talked to Isagenix about, but they're watching you. And you can even say like, hey, I know you've been liking some of my posts. Like I thought about you. I wanted to do X, Y, Z. And I am much more like Quinn. I like to talk to people that have already shared about it. I don't like to blindside them. However, I will tell you, my good friend Jessica Rigner, I mean, when she went 6-star to 8 stars, because she messaged every single person on her Facebook list. She literally printed it off, put it in an Excel sheet. She started texting and voice memoing people, and they were individual. They were short. It wasn't one of those long nonsense generic messages that you're like, really? I mean, it literally was like, hey, we're friends on Facebook. I'm not sure how I met you. I don't know how I know you. Not sure if you've seen what I've been up to, but it's so freaking awesome. Even my uncle lost weight, or, it was something funny. It's Jessica. And she was like, I'd love to talk to you about it. Or, hey, I see you're a twin mom too. Maybe we met in that group. Like, I'd love to share you what I was doing. And she rank advanced in, I think, 3 weeks from 6-star to 8-star. In the way that she'll tell you she did it, she reached out to everybody on her Facebook, everybody. And I mean, she's maxed out. It was 5,000 people. And I don't know a single other person that's ever done that. But if you know it's going to take you 6-star to 8-star, like, what do you have to lose? Chris is like, I have. And so, I mean, I just, if you do it, still try to build a little bit of a connection with them, and just don't send the same generic lengthy message like, hey, here's a video link, here's another video link, here's that, like, still try and get them on the phone. But it's a huge list. If you're going, I don't know anybody, my list only has 20 people, I've talked to everybody, or, some of you are just more introverted, start there. Sorry, Quinn.
Well, what I love about the story that you shared is, we can get leads from a lot of different places. They can be leads from our downline reports, from, people that are no longer building. They can be, people that like our posts, people that comment on a Facebook Live, all those things. There's a lot of different ways to get leads. But what I love about what you said, Lauren, was the way that Jessica did it was she did it fast, right? This business pays for speed. So if you took an entire year to message everybody on Facebook, it's going to take you a really long time to onboard 20 business partners. Yes, it'll happen, but your business will go like this. It'll have roller coasters. It'll go up and down versus just vertical growth. And that's what Jessica did. So Eric Worre even talks about that. He says, look, if you're going to spread this out over 20 months, you're going to have to, call 300 people a month. You're going to have 125 appointments, and your list size is going to have to be huge. Versus if you condense this into a 30-day time frame, he says 30 to 40% of people that you talk to will enroll, because you're going to have momentum and you're going to be able to speak to what's happening in your organization. You're going to have leverage. You're going to say, hey, do you want in now, or do you want in before the next business partner I enroll? Right? And he says, on typical, just to enroll 20 business partners, plan on 60 presentations, 90 appointments, 150 calls, and a list size 300 to 500. So break that apart for those of you guys that are going to do this. This is how I build my business, is I break it into weekly, and then I break it into daily. And when you break apart 90 appointments into daily, that's not that many. It's really, really not. I mean, Lauren, I imagine between 3-way calls and personal enrollment calls, I imagine you're probably doing at least 5 or 6 appointments a day, at least a day, if not more. That's probably a slow day for you. So it's really, really not that much. So plan it like this, guys. Break it down into how many do I need a day, and then break it down into days 1 through 10. Days 1 through 10 are simply contacting, inviting, and presenting. The second 10 days is following up. The last 10 days is all about closing. So you're going for the close, and utilize the company tools that we have. Something that Chris and I are doing right now is we're really focusing on Wednesday night with follow-ups. And this is open for any of you guys to do. Every single Wednesday night, the company does experience Isagenix meetings. What do they give out? Free enrollment codes. It's a great reason to follow up with people. Hey, I know we chatted last Friday. Tonight I have a free enrollment code. Hop on this meeting. We'll get you started. It works. Chris, I think all 3 of your enrollments were on Wednesday night, weren't they? With that play. So there you go, guys. Make it a follow-up.
Mine's the same. I use that code we got from that call, and I use that on each one of my enrollments as well, all on Wednesday.
Easy way to follow up. Easy way to follow up. So realize, like, guys, what it's going to take. Eric Worre says to do this, full-time, you're going to put in some hours, but break it apart. Like, when can you enroll people on the phone? Like while you're driving, lunch breaks, evenings, weekends, and then know what tools you have available. And the biggest tool that I would give you guys that you have available is, number one, and I can speak for my team, is there's more improvement to use your leaders. Don't try and go about it all on your own. Utilize your upline. Let us help you enroll people. Okay. Number two is utilize Facebook Live more. Like Lauren said before, Marie and I did a Facebook Live a couple of weeks ago. We had 2,000 views on it. We're still enrolling people from it. Chris Jackson and I did a Facebook Live last week. Marie and I scheduled 2 enrollments from that, one-on-one sit-down meetings as business partners. And Chris, I know you scheduled a couple as well, because you and I did an enrollment call together from that. And that wasn't people for the products. That's people looking at the business. And we did it interview style. So know what tools you have available. If you don't have a Zoom account yet, this isn't Eric Worre. These are my things as I'm giving you as an Isagenix professional. Have a Zoom account. Pay the $10 a month, so that way you're prepared. And as you're onboarding a new business partner, you're not worried about, oh, hey, I only have 19 minutes on the Zoom account and now it's over and now I got to redo it again. That's so unprofessional. Have your own Zoom account and utilize your tools that you have available. Plan launch parties, plan campaigns, run promotions, all those things. And I want to give you guys a little trick here. And I want to give this to everybody because it's something that I've been using for closing that's been working incredibly well. When I go through the close, I use the Chris Harder close. I go through, hey, you want to spending $10 a day, $20 a day, $15 a day? But what I'm seeing at the end has been eliminating almost all the objections and have been rolling at a 70% clip. So grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, because I know some of you guys are talking to people, you're messaging people, you're on the phone with people, but you're not closing. And here's what I say. So Lauren, besides price, commitment, and results, what else do you need today to get started? That's it. So besides price, commitment, and results, what else do you need today to get started? That's it. So plan out. Like, I hope to see many of you guys do the 20 and 30. I know Chris and I are running that campaign together, but make sure you're fully committed to it. And this is something that I would invite you to. The training that Lauren and I have given you guys for the past 2.5 weeks, it works and it's epic. Not to mention those of you guys that will be going to NYKO or watching the live stream of it, you have all the tools you need. Now it's just time to get into action. Running this campaign in January will completely change the whole projection of your business for 2018 and 2019 and 2020. It'll last forever. So I hope you guys do it, and I'd love to see you guys win. That's what I've got for you guys.
Thanks, Quinn. You guys, we will get those numbers up for you. Super, super fun. And when Quinn's talking about taking the month goal to the week goal to the daily goal, we both come from a fitness background, but if I can tell you the best analogy to get in your head with this is people that work out 30 to 60 minutes a day have way better results than someone who tries to go on Sunday for 4 hours and play catch up. It just doesn't work that way, you know? And so when you hear you build this in the pockets of your time, it's consistent time, not a lot of time. So whether you get up a little bit earlier, you do it in the lunch break, you do it a little bit at night. I mean, you just figure out where to do it. And I personally would encourage you to be doing some of your enrollment calls, some of your clients coaching calls, some of your prospecting calls in public places that people can hear what you're doing. Let them hear what you're saying, that they can ask questions. Like, you're not going to meet anyone in your living room and in your kitchen. So if you do 3 enrollment calls, there's no one around to listen. I love to do 3-way calls when I'm at the nail salon because the people next to me are going to be like, hey, like, can you help me too? Like, what's that all about? That, you know, I know that we want to be focused and not really distracted, but honestly, like, think about, without being the obnoxious person that's screaming in the coffee shop or something, where you can be that other people are going to, you know, see you giving a presentation, see you talking to a shake day or cleanse day or using the lookbook or whatever. And when you are going to do that, the first 10 days, I think for a lot of people, that connecting, right, before the follow-up or, you know, before the close, I think can be the hardest. Just that initial conversation, you know, get into your state, get into a power move, like, get to that place. Like, I'm giving you the Willy Wonka of Isagenix. Like, I literally, when I get on the phone to enroll someone, I'm picturing, are they going on my right leg? Are they going on my left leg? What flavors are they getting? Like, it's so clear. All I got to do is, like, figure out, like, you know, what their credit card is, because I know it's happening. If you get on the phone really wishy-washy, like, I don't know, they're going to ask me how expensive it is. Like, they're going to have to talk to their husband. I feel like I'm selling them. You're going to get a lot of rejections. I mean, they're not rejections, but you're going to get a lot of people that are saying no, that'll feel like a rejection. right? That it's going to deflate you. But if you can get into your stance and you're so confident about what you're doing, you know, sometimes I tell people, make a list of the first 10 or 20 things that come to mind of what Isagenix has done for you. And read that list every time you get on an enrollment call. Read that list every time you're about to prospect someone and be like, wow, I've got my best friends in the whole world. I've traveled all over. Like, I'm making money. I'm, you know, fitter. I'm leaner. I'm healthier. I'm happier. I am a better person. I'm a better wife. I'm a better, whatever it is, right? Make your entire list and be like, yeah, why would I not tell this person about this? You know, like, think about where you were before and just get into that state. And it makes it really fun. And it takes that kind of fear away and really brings fun, because you know that you're leading with a heart of service. Like, you literally know that you get to pay this forward. I mean, think about what Quinn just said. Like, you know, he was driving down from the mountains in a blizzard a few years ago. Because I can tell you that up from 2008 until 2013, November and December were horrifying months for me as a nutritionist and trainer. Horrifying. Like, literally, my sister's on here can vouch for this. Please, can you spot me $500? I'll pay you back in January when I have an influx of clients, right? I mean, it was so hard, picking up every single double I possibly could at the restaurant, working every shift that I possibly could, subbing every single class. I mean, literally, like, I, for years, didn't do Christmas Eve with my family because it's one of the busiest nights in the restaurant industry. And I was always waiting tables. Like, I had to be there. And because of Isagenix, things are so different. Like, just come from that place when you're talking to people, because there's going to be people that are not ready yet, but there's so many people that are ready. That your state of mind is one of the biggest things in your posture on why someone's going to say yes to you or they're going to say not now. And the best way I can share that with you is, I believe every day you show up, whether you're on the phone, you're in person, you're in public, as either a magnet or a shield. And it starts with you. It's what you think about. It's what you bring about. It's what you're feeling. It's what you're focusing on. And just say, do I want to be around me or would I not want to be around me? And what do you have to do to make sure you want to be around you? Because then other people are going to want to be around you. So you guys, we're not done. We've got 6 more days of posts. I know it's a busy time of year. We understand that. We are well aware when we decided to put this together. But here's the thing. This page isn't going anywhere. I think that there's great content in it. I think it's organized, it's clean. You guys can go back to this at any time. You can say, you know, I'm going to do another Go Manager campaign. Pick your own 21 days. Follow the steps and say, you know what, I couldn't do all 21 2 weeks before Christmas, but you know what, from February, you know, the beginning of February to middle of February, I can do it. And I'm going to grab 3 new people with me. Put them in here, like, add them to the page, keep it here, like, you know, whatever you have to do, that this is not going away. I'm not going to delete it. You know, we want it to be a resource for you. So Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, you guys. We'll see you at NYKO, but super, super grateful for all of you and just can't wait to see your success. And the last thing that I'm going to just throw out to you, and hopefully for those of you that don't have team members on the call, you can pass this on and share it, because I'm not going to post it. I do want to reward people for being on live or listening to the recording. We are going to do another set of raffles for, you know, top enrollers or those that, you know, create a new consultant. But anyone who goes manager for their first time or has created 2 new consultants, if you've already hit manager, like Chris Jackson's already a manager, right? I mean, he's an executive. But if he created 2 new consultants in the 3 weeks, he's eligible for this. We're going to also throw out a $100 bonus. So Quinn to his team, mine to my team. You guys, the deadline's on Sunday, Christmas Eve, that anyone's looking for $100, it's 2 new consultants. So we're happy to do that. And you might want to pass it on to your team or give them a little nudge to listen to the recording. So you guys, that was awesome. We love you. Happy holidays. Keep it up. Stay strong.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks.